Oh, Michelle.
Oh, Michelle, get out of my ass.
Tell me something.
Have you ever thought about... Michelle, no. That's not what assholes are made for. It goes out, not in. Oh, Michelle. Michelle is actually a beautiful name, but it's just been soiled by, my fitness consigliere, Michelle. And then drinking and smoking starts happening, and then Michelle's putting all these types of things in my ass. I can't get them out.
Can't get them out. Just nestled in there.
Yeah, all right. Well, we're back. Welcome.
What episode is this? 13? 12?
Dude, I can't fucking add, count, subtract, multiply, long division. I can't do fucking none of it. So I feel like you should know.
I should.
I think we're on episode 12.
Yeah.
I think I remember the last time, for some reason, Rain Man memory, Jen was saying, wow, we're on episode 11.
Mm-hmm.
And she was sitting exactly where Mike is sitting right now.
Still no name.
Still no name, dude. Flying by the... What is it? Pants of our own seat? Seat of our own pants?
Seat of our pants.
Seat of our pants, dude.
Yeah.
Asses and seats. All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to be back. We did we film last week?
Yes. Monday.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, this is off to a disastrous start.
Where were we before that?
I don't fucking know.
I don't remember.
Where were we? We left for something. I was in Monterey.
Oh, it was post-champs. Or post-major 4.
That's the podcast episode we filmed.
Yeah.
The week before, we didn't have an episode because I was up trying food for our wedding.
Yep.
And then we talked a whole lot about that. I promise you guys I'm not going to bore you about the wedding this time around.
Okay.
I will say, though, the episode 24 hours after we had it uploaded, I mean, of course, I think we nailed the title and the thumbnail, but it had like 25,000 views.
It was on main channel, too.
Oh, dude. I still can farm this optic juice, man. Nothing's going to stop me.
Just got to keep riding that wave.
Brother, Optic Nadeshot, YouTube title way back in the day used to be a cheat code. Oh, brother. 100 Teeth still does work, though.
Don't you miss it?
Miss the Optic moniker?
No, getting hundreds of thousands of views on your video.
Well, who knows? Maybe it could still happen. I've got a banger video coming out soon. Title and thumbnails already planned out. I just got to film it. Still got to do the hardest part. Yeah. But I don't know. YouTube for me back in the day was hard just because what Jack has done today with the community that he's built of other creators, they kind of have their own therapy sessions and Discord channels where they talk about their data and analytics.
Mm-hmm.
And I was definitely somebody that flew solo way back when. And so it was honestly more stressful than anything.
Eagles soar alone.
Well, I don't know if is that true? I thought eagles fly together.
I don't know. I just love saying
the
that.
ducks fly together. But yeah, the entire YouTube analytics page would either make it the best day ever or the worst day ever.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad to be out of that matrix everyday revolving door of pain, suffering, or happiness and just joy.
Yeah.
So, oh well.
That's why I started 100 Thieves, right?
Yeah, in a sense.
Yeah.
100 Thieves still today, like most people should know, or if they don't, was a complete and total accident. Like 100 Thieves was just supposed to be an apparel brand, and then opportunities came, and people helped me build this idea in my head. So I get a lot of credit for what we've done up until this point, but I can't really take a lot of credit for it.
Yeah.
But we definitely put the time in, word to ninja. Time in. You get it?
Oh,
you got to put the time in. Come on, Joe. Wake the fuck up, dude.
Still waking up. I'm still waking up.
Well, you were just at a bachelor party in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I am. I'm still reeling from it today.
I'm pretty sure you are wearing the exact same pants, shirt, hat, and shoes that you did yesterday.
Different shirt. Different shirt.
Nice pair of pants, though. What brand are those?
These are Theory.
Theory? Oh,
yeah.
That's a good pickup.
They're like sweats. For those that are listening, they have a pleat on them, but they're basically like sweatpants. So
Theory's a good brand. I just bought a pair of white shorts for Miami for F1 this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's actually been pretty cool. If you would have told me this like 5 years ago, maybe even 2 years ago, I would have punched myself in the face just for thinking or doing something along these lines. But I'll share it. That's just where my life has brought me. I'm not going to feel guilty about it. But Haley was talking to personal stylists for the wedding just because she wanted to, get a more curated set of eyes on what she was going to wear for the full week of the wedding. You know, there's a bunch of different events and moments. You have I just said we weren't going to talk about the fucking wedding, but the context of the story is important. But you have welcome drinks and the rehearsal dinner and all this shit. So she just wanted to feel really confident in what she's wearing, and we got the means to do it. Fuck it, why not? So she worked with somebody who was just a personal stylist for one of her best friend's weddings that we were at in Miami on that cruise a couple months back, if anybody remembers that. And they actually picked out some clothes for me for F1. So last night at like 6 p.m., they came over, set up a rack, brought all these shirts and accessories and pants and everything and shoes. And I actually fuck with it a lot.
Do you just then like buy the clothes off of them? How does that work?
Yeah, you know, it was pretty fascinating because the first time that they were there, I was actually asking them about their business. I'm like, so how do you guys take a commission off the total spend that the clients end up charging on their card? Or do you guys have deals with the department stores and the brands that you buy from? So you get your money off the top of the, disconnect from what we paid and what they're giving them at like wholesale or something along those lines. But I don't remember. I was in my pen pretty hard when they were over, just playing Marvel Snap. And...
just tried some sweet clothes on, playing some Snap.
Yeah, it was definitely the most privileged I feel like I've ever felt my entire life. But
I mean, if I could, I would.
I know.
Well.
This is what I told the guy yesterday. Super nice. Oh, brother. By the way, holy shit. I'm not even kidding. Dude, for everybody in this room, because you guys know him, podcasts might not make any sense to you at all, but I'll make it quick. DK on our events team and marketing, brother, this guy that I'm working with, a personal shopper and stylist, is literally DK 1-to-1. It is so fucking bizarre how nice they are, the way that he talks, all the mannerisms. It is insane. I need to set something up so they don't know that they're going to be in the same room and just get them talking, and it'll be like the Spider-Man meme.
Yeah.
I would not bring that up because it is not relevant to this podcast at all if I truly didn't mean it, and I need somebody else that works with DK to see it.
Yeah.
So we got to figure this out.
DK's a great guy, so.
I wonder if DK's the fucking man.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's got a cousin or a brother that we don't know about.
DK's the one that got me on the Snap game, too.
Marvel Snap. Yeah, dude, I'm still in the thick of it, man.
But going back to the personal stylist with the Met Gala last night and me just like seeing all these reposts of all these stylists and stuff, I was just basically stalking all these Instagrams yesterday. And I think few people realize that I feel like almost every celebrity has a personal stylist for every outfit they wear.
Well, listen, if you're like an A-list celebrity,
yeah.
I think it'd be stupid not to.
Yeah.
I mean, you're making so much money and you're so busy with, which is what's making you all this money. And you got to go out in public and people are going to take photos of you. That is like a nominal expense in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, the Met Gala is super confusing to me. I mean, high art and fashion, like I understand that there is just a world that I do not understand and it just exists all around me and I don't give it any attention or pay it any mind. It's just a little bizarre.
Yeah, I feel like it's basically just, if the Met Gala tells me anything, every time I see it, I think the Illuminati exists.
100%.
Every time
I mean, there's some children being sacrificed, or
like
blood is being spilled
Doja
somewhere.
Cat meowing in her interviews. Like,
well, they got this guy. I was actually Haley had it on stream on the TV in the living room while the stylists were on their way, and they had Pedro Pascal. That's how you say his name, right? Who's the fucking man who's having like a crazy couple years, bro. He was wearing like this 100 Thieves red trench coat with black shorts. And like black calf high boots. I'm like, dude, this just don't fit my image of you.
That ain't Mando up there, you know?
Yeah, brother. Like,
that ain't Joel.
Dude, 100%. I don't know. Listen, I'm not entitled to that opinion. I mean, this guy's got to live his own life off the screen, but shit is just bizarre. But Haley was telling me that in the Met Gala, you get invited by agreeing to wear what the designers want you to wear. So I don't know if that's his choice or not, but it was a whiff for me. I'm like, Pedro, come on.
I feel like they're all whiffs.
Yeah. So, I mean, some of the dresses is somebody who doesn't, like when Haley puts something on, I'll either know right away if it looks good on her or not. I don't really care about dresses, but some of those, like, damn, that's pretty cool.
Did you say Jared Leto dressed as a cat? He's just wearing a full like furry outfit.
I did not see that.
Oh, dude.
I don't need to see it.
So they're wearing like a fucking mascot costume of like a white cat. Like, what is this guy doing?
Bro, Jared Leto, he's peacock. I guess you got to let him fly. I don't know, brother. You ain't catching me within 1,000 miles.
Is that what your stylist was hooking you up with for F1? Just cat suits.
Oh, bro. Imagine I go full-blown furry. Heineken has just never been more confused in their entire life. Apparently, we're doing an interview with Daniel Ricciardo. I paint some whiskers on me. This brother would be off the fucking scene. I retired for this?
Yeah. First time meeting you.
Let's get off the Met Gala. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
All right.
It's just so weird, too, because like 99% of the Earth and the human population can't participate in it, and we're just looking at it like, this is very weird.
Mm-hmm.
But
anyways, going back to Vegas, though, real quick, too. Yeah, I was there for my brother's bachelor party.
What a transition. Wow, Joe.
Well, the only reason I'm bringing it back is because I was actually curious when I was cooking up my topics. A couple questions for you about Vegas, but yeah, so went. It was great. It's all my cousins. We had like 25 of us.
That's a lot of heads.
Yeah, it was a wild weekend. But my question for you is a couple things. First off, are you a gambler? Do you like to gamble?
Yeah.
What's your game of choice?
When I first started going to Vegas, it was blackjack and roulette.
Mm-hmm.
And now my favorite game in the casino is craps.
What?
Started playing craps 4 or 5 years ago. It's best game in the casino.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt.
Especially you get like a good table going.
Yeah.
We had this kid that was with us, and he's just a unique person.
Like the walls?
I mean, I don't even know how to describe him, to be honest. He's just a different being. And we're at this craps table. he's just like, the only thing he's saying is they call me snakes. Like, that was the only thing he said. Got to the point where we had like 10 different strangers on the other side of the table, and he was throwing, and he was a shooter for sure. He was hot.
What, you just roll a bunch of snake eyes?
No.
You should have been betting high-low.
No, but he's like, hey, what do they call me? What do they call me? They call me snakes. And every time he'd roll, and he rolled for like 20 straight minutes, every time
That's
he
a good
rolled,
roll.
he had the table call him snakes. So,
but that's camaraderie. That's
the
why
camaraderie.
craps is fucking amazing.
Yeah,
dude.
it was great, but I was just the entire time, I have no idea what I'm doing on the craps table. I'm just betting the pass line, but this kid had me dying.
Brother, craps, it seems very intimidating, and as somebody who's not very good at math and statistics and odds,
yeah,
it is so easy to understand once you're there for like 10 minutes. And if you get a good table where the dealers and whoever's running the pit, if they're in a good mood, they'll teach you how to play because they want you to win, because that means you're going to tip them.
Yeah.
But the craps is the best game in the casino because exactly what you were basically alluding to, everybody wants to win together.
Yeah.
You could be sitting with your boys playing blackjack all day, you take a big bet and you hit blackjack, and then everybody else got rinsed, and it's just, you're the only one that's happy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's nice too sometimes still. But
Yeah.
craps, best game in the casino. But I've actually, I would say when I started gambling with Tim the Tapman, Ninja, and Jack, we went to Vegas a couple times together, and that was just when I realized I gotta just stay away from Vegas. I've never gambled so much to where I'm worried about it, because I'm pretty good if I know something's not good for my soul and my well-being, I can pretty much stop it in most cases, besides the nicotine as I put his in. But beyond that, I'm like, all right, this is not where I'm going to make my money, so I need to just fucking relax.
Have you ever hit a big lick in Vegas?
Oh, yeah.
What's the biggest you've hit?
We were day drinking in West Hollywood. This was at like 11 a.m. on a Friday. This is maybe a year or two into 100 Thieves. It's me, Courage, and one of our other best friends, Fwiz. And we're going bar to bar for like 4 or 5 hours. It's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon at this point. We're good and buzzed. It was just, we're starting the weekend today. And then Jack gets a call from Tyler and was like, listen, we're in LA. We're going to Vegas right now. Pack a bag. come to Burbank Airport. We're getting on a private jet.
Holy shit.
And we all rush home, get changed, throw some clothes in a bag, end up at the airport. An hour and a half later, we're in Vegas.
Oh, my God.
And it wasn't that night, but the next day, we were all playing craps. And I think I got to the table with like $1,500 that I had taken out from an ATM. This is before I had a marker. And somebody rolled for 40 minutes. And I turned that $1,500 into 30 grand.
Oh, my
So I took
God.
my money off the table after they crapped out. And I went to a store in the Aria, and I bought a Hublot.
Wow.
A Big Bang Hublot, so that I would walk out of there with something and not lose all of the winnings that I had just accrued.
Yeah. Holy
But
shit.
then we went to Vegas the next week, and I lost all the money that I had spent on the watch. And
That's how it goes. They always get it back.
felt alive, though. I definitely felt alive.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fucking ignorant.
Yeah.
So it's seriously, it's that Kevin Hart skit. Stay in your financial lane.
Yeah.
Like, I do pretty well for myself, but at that time, and still at this time,
Mm-hmm.
those guys are just raking in cash, dude. They've got an ATM that doesn't turn off and just spitting out $100 bills.
Got that mixer money.
So exactly. So I'm like, dude, I don't want to. I'm not one for optics, but I'm like, I have the money. Let me gamble with these guys, but it's just not the same. I can't be throwing around dollars that way.
I wish that was like when I was there. I loved to gamble, and I was just like, God, I wish I had the funds just to be able to sit here and play for like 10 straight hours.
Yeah, and that's the weird part is that it's fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, of course it's fun. The
Yeah.
Captain fucking moronic obvious here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of the few ways I feel like an adult can get their heart pumping and really just want something more than they want to breathe.
Yeah.
So not only is it like competitive, but it's also just pure degenerate, addictive, preys on every terrible thing in your body and brain.
Yeah.
Just dopamine hits, and then you're just chasing that high.
Yeah.
It's fucking dangerous. No bullshit.
God, it's so nice. But yeah, so that was this weekend for me. And then we got F1 coming up this week.
Yeah,
we leave
F1.
tomorrow.
It's
you
gonna be a
excited?
trip. Yeah, I am excited. I think Miami in general is hit or miss for me. Some weeks are good that I go there. Some weeks are bad.
Mhm.
But I feel like F1 is going to be pouring out of the streets. There's going to be so many people, and that's the part I'm not a fan of.
Yeah.
Like, I'd love to go to Miami on a sleepy weekend where there's something going on in LA or something, and
Yeah.
everybody's over there
Yeah.
while I'm going there.
I'm a little nervous. I mean, there's a Knicks Heat game too, and then
Oh, yeah.
however many hundreds of thousands of people are coming for F1.
Yeah, it's going to be a long week because we go to Miami, and then I'm going up to North Carolina for a day. Then we go to Dallas for like 3 days. So as somebody that doesn't like to be away from the dogs and home, it is going to be a long week, but it'll fly by.
Mhm.
We'll have a good time. Got some work to do. Got some meetings, some dinners. It'll be fun.
It'll be good.
Yeah.
All
Bro,
right.
talking about the Heat game, we talked about it a little bit in the last two episodes, but the NBA playoffs have just been fucking electric, man.
You been watching?
That's been the beautiful thing. Is like, thankfully, I haven't had a lot of work spill over into the evening. You know what I mean? Like up until like 5 o'clock, I'm usually good for the next like 5 hours before I go to bed.
Mhm.
So I get the afternoon, early evening game. That's Eastern Conference and then Western Conference. So I've pretty much watched almost every playoff game or close to. I mean, there's a few that I've missed, but
Yeah.
it's just every game has been close. I feel like every team, like we talked about, just has a couple superstars that even if your team's not in the playoffs, it's still fun to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, that Kings Warriors series was unfucking believable.
Insane.
Steph, game 7, most points ever recorded in a game 7.
Mhm.
Brother, I am not a Warriors fan, but I don't hate them like a lot of people do. I feel like people are split right down the middle. There is just no team that is more fun to watch.
Yeah.
There's no other way to describe it. If Steph is feeling it, every single time he's going down the court, he's going to try to create a shot and throw something up.
Mhm.
And more than 50% of the time, it's probably going to go down. But if they're playing good defense, just kicking out to Clay, he could do something with it. Andrew Wiggins, Draymond's actually Draymond catches a lot of flack, and maybe some of the emotional shit he does claims that it brings the team together. But he's also like an incredibly intelligent basketball player.
Yeah, he really is.
Besides some ill-advised shots and forcing things,
so that's stepping on people and.
Yeah, I still think he didn't put his weight on what was it, Sabonis?
Yeah,
it's crazy to think that was at the beginning of that series.
Mm-hmm.
I love the 7-game series, dude. How the fuck? I just started wearing my Apple Watch. I don't know how to turn off these notifications.
If you swipe,
go do not disturb. Swipe down. Yeah. So Haley just finished a workout. Good for her. Piece of shit. I'm just kidding. Okay, that's not how you do it. All right, we're doing great.
Did you get it?
Huh? Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm really excited for the Lakers-Warriors series.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this might be one of the last times we ever get to enjoy the fucking rivalry, dude. Naruto and Sasuke, LeBron versus Steph Curry and the Warriors.
Dude, I hate the Warriors. I respect them, but I got a couple boys from San Francisco, and being a Detroit sports fan, just seeing the Niners, the Warriors, the Giants, all winning all the time. I can't stand it.
Yeah, I know, but I don't fuck with San Francisco on any level.
Yeah, that too.
I don't fuck with the Niners. I hate the Giants too, but you just cannot deny how much fun the Warriors are to watch.
Yeah, it's true. But
even if you fucking hate them too, you still can't deny the entertainment value of this. Bro, Steph looks like he doesn't give a fuck and is just throwing things up to the moon.
I mean, that's the worst part. I'm going to watch. Yeah. I'm going to watch every game. But
who do you think's going to take the series?
I mean, it's hard to beat Golden State in 7, but I would love to see LeBron make a run. I like the team they have right now, too. So, I mean, like, Reeves is so fun to watch. AD, God only knows what he's going to do. I feel like it's really going to depend on him, but I think the Warriors probably win in 7.
I think the Warriors are going to take it as well.
Yeah.
I think if the Lakers just had a little bit more depth off the bench and had one more elite spot-up shooter, sometimes they just look flat. Yeah. And I can't put my finger on it, but it's like, all right, if AD isn't being aggressive and LeBron's shot isn't falling and Austin Reeves is getting into trouble, like who's making it rain?
Yeah. Exactly.
Dennis Schroeder, like he looks good sometimes. Actually, D'Lo's been kind of hot. I keep forgetting about D'Lo.
D'Lo's nice.
He got off to a rough start in that series. Terrible shooting, and then the last like 2 games, he was fucking heating up. So I always forget about D'Lo. It really is a pretty good team.
Yeah, they are. I just wish they, like, looking back on it, I wish they traded Kuzma instead of Ingram to New Orleans. And if they had Ingram and LeBron, that team would be so nasty today compared to where they were. But anyways.
Either way, it'll be fun.
Yeah. And then your Suns are down 2-0.
I know. Brad, I watched that game last night too. I mean, shots were falling some of the time. I know Devin got at least 30.
Yeah, I think he
But they
like 35, 37.
I mean, it was a close game until like the 7th minute of the 4th quarter, and then all of a sudden the Kings just went on a crazy run.
CP3 went down, and Joker took over.
Ah, man, brother, I know he's like an unbelievable basketball player, but if he is just the opposite end of the spectrum of Steph, and I just don't enjoy watching him play.
Yeah, they're not flashy, but you want to talk about depth and a good basketball team. Denver.
100%.
I think Denver might win it all this year, to be honest with you. They make it past
Aaron
the Suns.
Gordon, fucking, what's the dude who had the broken back all those years?
Michael Carter Jr.
Yeah, Michael Carter Jr., dude, when I was watching last year, he was shooting.
Dude, he's nice.
And it's crazy to think that he's like the 3rd or 4th option on that team.
Jamal gets going, too. It's
Jamal Murray, yeah.
Yeah. He had like 8 points last night, and they still won.
Yeah, he had some clutch assists and a couple points
in
the 4th quarter.
How'd you meet Devin Booker?
I met Devin Booker I've met D'Lo too.
Really?
Brother, this story is way better than how I met Devin Booker. I just met Devin through Call of Duty, and turns out he's like the coolest motherfucker in the world.
Yeah.
Bro, he was playing game battles way back in the day. Like game battles was like this underground thing that nobody did before like MLG and Pro Call of Duty existed. When he was playing basketball, when he was in like grade school and high school, he was grinding Call of Duty game battles matches. So
he
he's
good?
known about me for a long time, and he's actually, bro, no fucking gas. I don't care if you never fucking saw this. I'm not saying it just to say it. Devin Booker's actually ridiculous at Call of Duty.
Mhm.
I don't think there's another athlete that's better than him at Call of Duty.
What is the guy not good at? It's a real question,
Oh,
man.
brother, apparently he's like fucking rolling 300s while bowling, dude. I don't know, man. This guy just had started golfing in the last year and a half,
Mhm.
and we played a country club out here with one of my other friends, Cameron Azoff, took us out to Hillcrest, which is like a really prolific country club on the west side of LA. And again, only a year and a half, this guy was fucking moving the ball.
Mhm.
Bro, he was driving like 300 yards. Anybody who's just naturally athletic, I'm not taking anything away from their hard work, but they're just they make everything look so easy. But I digress. I've told this story before, but D-Lo, for the context of what we're talking about, is actually hilarious.
Mhm.
So I lived in an apartment in a city called Playa Vista. And Playa Vista, a lot of the Clippers and Lakers players and staff would live over there because the practice facilities were right down the street.
Mhm.
And so I was filming a video and just hanging out with like FaZe Temper, Adapt, and I think Rain at the time. And we went down to the basketball courts that are in Playa Vista. In the middle of the day on a weekday, there was nobody there. So we're just shooting, recording some stuff. And all of a sudden, we see this guy walking up. And again, this city has been built in the last 10 years.
Mhm.
Before, it was all just like marshland. So everything is new. It feels like suburbia in the middle of all the chaos of LA.
Mhm.
And there's this guy walking over, and you could have seen tumbleweed. Like nobody should have been walking around.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I kind of fucking recognize who is that? And as he gets closer and closer and closer, I realize, holy shit, it's DeAngelo Russel. And so all of a sudden he asks, you guys mind if I shoot around with you? I'm like looking left and right, like,
do you want us to leave the court?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, the kicker here was that the NBA was in season. And I'm like, motherfucker, shouldn't you be in Houston right now? You got a game to play. But he, has been recovering from an injury.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, we just started shooting around, chopping it up with this guy. We played a game of 2-on-2. I had him on my team. We won. Bro, I look dyslexic, illiterate, fucking 2 left feet, anything that you could think of. Like, this guy might as well have been Captain America. This was like I'm just throwing it up to him.
Yeah.
It was great. And after, he invited us over to his house to play NBA 2K. We hung out with him for like 5 hours.
What a day.
You know the craziest fucking part about that? I haven't even got to the craziest part.
Uh-huh.
My buddy Fwiz, who I was telling you about, that we went and gambled with in Vegas, turns out like 2 years later, he moved in to DeAngelo Russell's condo.
Damn.
When he had me come over, I'm like, what the fuck? He bought it right after him.
Yeah.
Isn't that?
Dude.
We're living in a simulation. At least I am.
100%.
How fucking crazy is that?
Dude.
And when I told him that story, he was like, I was wondering why, when I looked up before we repainted it, why there were scuffs that looked like basketballs on the ceiling. Shit you not. True story.
God only knows what went down in there, too.
Cool guy.
Yeah.
Really nice guy.
Respect. Well, great. But yeah, NBA playoffs are happening. NHL playoffs. I don't know if you watch any NHL hockey, but they're also
I met a bunch of players from the Anaheim Ducks when I went up to Monterey.
When? A couple weeks ago?
To try food for the wedding.
Oh, you did?
There's these 4 guys that they all looked like hockey players.
Yeah.
They were like 6'2", all had long hair.
Yeah.
And I mean, when you go to Monterey, the airport is so small, and the plane that you fly from LA is so small. So everybody that's getting on and off the plane.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw these guys. I'm like, oh, they're going on a golf trip. That's fucking awesome. And when we got to Monterey, since the plane is so small, you have to check your bag, your carry-on, then they give it to you when you get off.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the players who I didn't know at the time was in the NHL. We both had the same Rimowa push suitcase.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went to go grab mine, and they were the same ones right next to each other. So we chopped it up for like 2 seconds. Whose is this?
Yeah.
Never saw them again until we got back to the airport. They were on the same flight, same schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we were waiting for those suitcases again, when we got back to LA, 3 of the guys had gotten theirs. And then the guy that was standing right in front of me was like, oh, yeah, one of our boys recognized you. We all play for the Anaheim Ducks.
Mhm.
And then we just started talking, followed each other on Twitter. I'm going to send them a bunch of high ground keyboards because they travel with their setups.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
The
I think
game
his name
too?
was Lance Stroll.
No, that's an F1 driver.
Let's see. I just followed him. Sorry, I'm not familiar with hockey very well, but Ryan Strome.
Oh, Ryan Strome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool fucking guy.
Yeah. Damn. But
Want to go to a Ducks game?
honestly,
Next
no.
year?
Honestly, no.
Okay.
Well, I feel like that'd be like I don't want to disrespect Anaheim by any means, but like,
We can go to Disney, catch a game,
I feel like that'd be that and like
feed each other corn dogs.
the Arizona
Michelle.
and the Arizona Coyotes. I feel like would be like the two worst franchises to play for.
Okay.
But I'm sure they're great. Anyways,
Yeah, hey, brother, I fuck with the Ducks, man.
Okay, well,
I fuck with Ryan Strome and all those boys, dude. Go fuck yourself. We do not claim Joey K. I promise you. Super nice guys. They're all better than you at every sport imaginable.
This is just my my jealousy seeping
I'm sure
out
they're
right
really
now.
worried about what Joe Callis thinks about the Anaheim Ducks.
Couple
and the Arizona
fantastic looking
Coyotes.
professional hockey players going on a golf trip to Monterey, chilling, have nothing better to do in the off season than play beautiful golf courses.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And you're here with me.
yeah.
Look at us.
Look at us. Look at us. So, okay, well, off the topic of sports and trying to dive into the internet from these past few weeks, I got some topics.
Okay, Joe.
All
You
right.
sound like a fucking cop.
I feel like
Diving into some topics on the internet.
my body feels insane right now. So,
Dude, you've had 3 days to recover now.
you keep giving me this, you're 25, you should be able to recover, but I
should be.
I feel like I have the body of a 40-year-old at this point. My liver physically hurt yesterday in the office. And at one point, I had so much just anxiety reeling from the weekend that I was like paralyzed. There's nothing I could actually do.
And what did you say, though? You reap what you sow.
You reap what you sow.
Give me the topics from the internet.
All right. Coming out hot, Adin Ross, hot water for false copyright striking people's content. Most recently Hassan, but the lowdown is this dude, internet anarchist, who basically like reports the news.
Yeah, I saw this on Twitter this morning,
Okay.
actually.
So yeah, he basically claimed it was his content, so he could like accrue the revenue from it. Denies all the appeals, got paid out like $8,000 from it, and then was bragging about it on stream. And then just most recently did it to Hassan, and everybody's coming after him obviously for doing this. But
The amount of times I've seen these copyright claim drama between creators over the last 10 years is just fucking stupid at this point. It's so annoying. Every single year it'll pop up where two big creators, there's a spat. Either the creator knew that their network was going to go claim all their clips or they didn't know, and then they argue for a couple days, and everybody forgets that it happened. Bro, Adin Ross has done so many things over the last few years. I don't even know what the fuck he's caught up in.
yeah,
I truly don't have an opinion.
okay. Well, I was to say, yeah, curious to hear your take on that. But has this ever happened to you as well?
No.
No.
Fuck no. Maybe? I've never gone and claimed my shit. I haven't been with a YouTube network since Nam.
Yeah.
Brother, these guys are just feeding the machine.
Yeah.
Like, here's the problem. I don't know internet anarchists. I fuck with Hassan and I fuck with Adin Ross. But, brother, drama, these guys are just creating their own stories, whether it's intentional or not, and they're just getting more and more popular through drama and these public spats.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a fuck about it in any capacity.
Okay. Great.
And that's not me being angry with you bringing up the question. That's just me like, how many times do I got to watch this conversation unfold?
Yeah. I forget, too, that you've been on the internet for like 15 years.
History repeats itself.
Yeah, it surely does.
I'm telling you, brother, get your bingo book out for every year because it's going to happen once a year to the day we die.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, just rolling right into the next one.
You know what, though? A couple weeks ago, there was a clip of Adin Ross saying, fuck 100 Thieves. I think he said it in jest as like a joke. I don't actually know. And then Banks defended me. It was actually really dope.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, do you remember the clip too, Austin, R.I.P. Him and Adin and like that.
Oh yeah,
Zoom together
with the stupid ass fucking hand symbols.
Yeah.
This shit is actually dope. It's overkill. They like every creator when they take a photo does this, and it just became
for those listening. It's
too on the nose.
Phase up sign.
Yeah, phase up. I mean, this is actually crazy that you could do this, but they just ran it into the ground.
Yeah,
but the idea of it, if they use it sparingly, is actually really cool.
Well, what would it be for 100T?
We already figured this out.
That's a thumbnail right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We figured that one out a long time ago.
Okay.
Wait, for the cameras, did I do it right? Yeah. That's 100.
Look at that jaw just on latch.
Oh, yeah. Me and Michelle. We got gang signs and shit. All right. What else you got?
Cenat, more Twitch TOS drama.
No way.
Yeah, crazy, right?
It's fucking wild.
Bingo book. I got the bingo book open here.
I never would have imagined.
This podcast is going wonderfully right now.
No, I think it's fine.
So he just released, him and Speed released a music video.
Oh, yeah, I saw this. And Cenat was basically challenging Twitch to ban him for playing the music video because Speed is banned on Twitch and you're not allowed to share content or show content of band creators.
Video is fire, by the way.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm all in on Cenat. So
yeah,
if Twitch wants to knock at his door and ban him for playing, brother, they got to get rid of that fucking rule. They've got like what 20 creators that are like lifetime banned, and you just they've been ostracized, and you can't be associated with them at all. It's pretty fucking silly.
It is. So, question off of that: do you think with Kick and YouTube and the competition between platforms, Twitch needs to make a change to this? Because like people can't play with Doc, shit like that.
Look, whether I think they should make a change or not is not indicative or will not affect whether they make a change. I don't know. I think what Twitch has done over the last 10 years, the company grew. They hired more people. The OGs that helped build Twitch from the very beginning, none of them work there anymore. And their policies, it almost seems like they're picking and choosing what they enforce and who they enforce it with. Like there's just been so many instances where certain creators got better treatment than others, whatever that rhyme or reason was, who knows. But the problem when you start enforcing policies and rules is that it needs to be black and white. Like there cannot be an altered perception of it, whether that's the decision maker of an individual employee who shouldn't be making that decision or just the overall company and guidelines. You just can't do something with somebody and not do the same with another if they do something that's similar. So that's just that's been, I think, their number one issue is that they just don't have any consistency in how they enforce their policies. Yeah. That's what causes all the resentment and the hatred and the drama.
It's like, I hate to say it, the NFL does a great job, like with the gambling stuff that just happened recently. Jameson Williams got a 6-game suspension and they're so against it. I mean, they got to do what they got to do. They're putting their foot down, but at least they're consistent, as much as I don't like it.
Yeah, man. Twitch has just become... People hate Twitch. A lot of people hate Twitch nowadays just to hate Twitch. Have they done a lot of things wrong? Absolutely. Can it be better? Absolutely. But I don't know, man. I don't get up in arms over some of these things just because it's like when people get in trouble, not on the internet, or I'm like, I don't fucking care because I'm not going to do this myself. Like I'm never going to be in this situation. I should just say the internet because I'm not trying to get into like laws and crazy shit that's happening in the real world, but like whatever. Yeah. Fuck, man. Just keep me out of this, dude. Like I don't even want to be, like I'm down to comment on it, but some of these people, bro, if they see a ray of sunshine that they can, like the light is beaming on, they're like, I know that I can get really loud about this and my community's going to get behind me and it's just more fuel to the fire. They're all over it. Yeah. Controversy is a good thing on the internet, whether you like that or not. Anybody that gets involved with drama, no matter what, whether it's short-term or long-term sustainable, has a bump up in traffic, views, subs, everything. So people wield that power.
That Frosty stream went crazy.
The Frosty stream did go crazy.
Yeah.
And I didn't even want to do that.
Yeah.
I love Frosty.
Mhm.
I genuinely do. And that's why I couldn't get mad, because I don't even want to get back into that. I think Frosty is hilarious. I hold no ill will or resentment towards him. I think he's young, and clearly we both had two very different perspectives on the situation. And I'm not saying one is right and the other is wrong, but I can't get mad at a young kid who, if I were in his shoes in a similar place in my life, who knows? I might have done the same thing. You know, that's the other thing too. When people get mad at creators on the internet, I'm not saying that ignorance is like bulletproof and you can give everybody an excuse for however they handle themselves or whatever they say, but you got to remember that a lot of these kids that come up, this is the first time they've ever experienced a world where anything that they say or anything that they do can be judged harshly by millions and millions of people.
Yeah.
And that's not an easy environment to acclimate yourself to. So I don't like to hold grudges.
Mm-hmm. Like the sleep.
But the viewership did go crazy.
It did go crazy.
Yeah. And that's why sometimes I wish I could be more like Dave Portnoy. Like Dave Portnoy is foaming at the mouth anytime he knows he can get one up on somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been great for the Barstool business and just getting eyes on the brand and bringing more people into the fold. But I don't like when random people on the internet are mad at me. Like, I don't know if that's just me being self-conscious or what. I just sleep better with my head on my pillow at night, knowing that I didn't bother nobody today and nobody's bothering me.
Especially start ripping that pen at night. Start ruminating, start overthinking things. You got people coming after you.
Yeah, bro, it's just not fun.
No.
Like, I'd rather my feed be slightly more dead but positive with no anguish or drama or anything that's going to weigh on my mind than my mentions lighten up where you scroll, even after you scroll and refresh, it says you got to load more tweets. That's when you know something you're doing on Twitter is banging.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a dead feed than one filled with controversy.
Yeah. What are you, 31 now?
30.
30?
Fuck you. Yeah, I'm 30. 30.
You don't need that.
A TikTok trend that's gotten really popular is showing like actors and actresses like, oh, Will Ferrell might be 60 now, but he was 18 once. And then they go through like every 3 years of what they look like. Mm-hmm. And Adam Sandler and Will Ferrell, I saw two of them on TikTok yesterday. They both look like very young at 30. And then by the time they're like 34, bro, they look old and disheveled. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I got to start walking more.
Yeah, I got those orthotics.
Yeah, bro. I just got orthotics in my feet and I'm about walking every day. It's been great, dude. I've been filling up these activity rings on here.
Uh-huh.
It's crazy. All you got to do is walk 8,000 steps a day and you'll be healthy.
Sound like my aunt.
I'm serious. Like, people think that you need to do high intensity interval training and need to be a fucking power lifter. And yeah, it looks nice. And you certainly, if you do it right, get healthier and look better. But to be healthy in general, if you just, bro, consistency, just show up and walk a little bit.
Yeah.
You'll be perfectly fine.
I'm at that point too in my life now where like growing up, you'd always work out to try and look good and
oh yeah,
go after girls and all that.
That's the only reason I did it.
And now I'm like, especially like how I feel today, I'm looking in the mirror, I'm like, as I start to see the alcohol start to show on my face a little bit and the years of torment to my body, I'm like, fuck, like I think I need to work out for the sake of my health right now. Like, go to the doctor, I'm getting like high cholesterol readings. I'm like, shit, like
you'll be battling that thought for the next few years.
Yeah.
We talked about this, dude. David Goggins.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be a savage, but you been a savage for 6 months. You ain't no fucking savage. You need to. I'll wake up. I'll run 100 miles. I'll be a savage every fucking day.
Dude, I need whatever that guy's fucking smoking, bro. Let me tell you.
Well, when I got my orthotics yesterday, I was talking to my doctor who is like 64 and still runs triathlons and Ironmans. This guy's a very unassuming. But he said he got diagnosed with melanoma a couple weeks ago. I had an incision. They checked his lymph nodes. It's not spreading right now, but no guarantees. And it was very bizarre because he kind of just dropped it casually and was like, yeah, I mean, listen, if I were your age, you got to start thinking about it now. Like, get up and move. Like, you know, you can chip away at this thing with minimal effort if you just show up every day and just do a little bit, because that adds up. We're not talking about, because the problem with my brain is I get caught up in like the 6 month and the year summary of time, the results from that.
Yeah.
And I get discouraged if I don't show up. And then I end up not doing it at all because I'm like, oh, I missed 2 weeks. I just shit the bed, did everything that I always do. I'm fucking quitting again. But you got to look at it as a 10-year curve, not a fucking 1 year curve.
Yeah.
Yeah, you miss a couple weeks, fuck it. As long as you get back on the train, saddle up, start moving a little bit. It's crazy what a walk can do. I mean, I've been doing it for 4 days. Haley and I will walked like 1.5 miles yesterday morning and then 1.5 miles at night. We did like 3 or 4 miles the other day. My brain just feels better. I just feel easier. It's a good thing. Seriously, go walk in the sunshine.
Yeah, honestly. That's the other thing too. It's like, oh, just work out like 30 minutes a day, 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And I can't do that. But I'm like,
we'll take some baby steps, dude. Who's going to carry the logs and the boats?
Who's going to carry the boats?
You know me, son.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, hey, listen, I'm not trying to sound like a fucking preacher because I definitely don't listen to my own gospel most of the time. But
yeah,
right now, I'm pretty stoked on walking.
Good.
Sound like a fucking 80-year-old man.
Yeah. But.
Bro, Ant-Man 3 was fucking awful. Ant-Man 3 was terrible, bro. Actually, there were aspects of it that I loved.
See Creed yet?
I did.
What'd you think?
We talked about
Creed. Oh my god, dude.
Brother, wake the fuck up. It's a month later, Joe.
Get me out of here.
So Haley and I, we've watched so many shows that we've ran out of things to watch. So we watched the first, second, and third Ant-Man over the course of the last like 3 weeks. And we just watched Quantumania, the third. And again, I think I was a little too harsh. I like some aspects of it, but other aspects I just fucking hated. I'm like, dude, they were trying to be like Guardians of the Galaxy meets like Avengers meets. It just did not land for me. But anytime I get to watch Paul Rudd be Ant-Man, I'm cool with it. But they whiffed on that one.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Okay, brother.
I'm out on Marvel.
Dog, it is.
Ever since WandaVision, I'm out. And She-Hulk.
I didn't hate WandaVision. I didn't hate it. I actually enjoyed it. She-Hulk, I watched 2 episodes and I'm like, oh shit, not for me.
The premise of like an attorney that's also the Hulk, like.
Yeah, I would see Quantumania though because it's the beginning of the new phase. Kang the Conqueror.
Well, I don't know how much more Kane we're gonna be seeing.
What do you mean?
Jonathan Majors.
Oh yeah. Can't beat women.
Nope.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Innocent until proven guilty.
But yeah.
Good actor. I hope he didn't do that shit. I don't know the full story, but
yeah.
So I damn sure should not be commenting on it.
Yeah.
Probably a joke about spousal domestic abuse is probably not kosher here.
Probably
at least
not.
for my own standards.
Yeah.
I don't know what he did. That was a bad joke.
Yeah.
Fuck off. I didn't mean it.
So, but trying to think what else is coming out. Did you see Air?
I haven't seen Air yet. We're gonna go see that, but I think we just talk about sports and movies and all this shit. I'm gonna go in my Instagram DM, see if we got some questions. I had JHB put out an Instagram story. If I can't find a good one, then I'll ask him to. You got anything queued up? Have you been looking at all?
Yeah. Do you want to go like deeper? What do you want to do?
Give me something, JHB. You pick, dude.
All right.
Hold on, real quick. JHB's off camera and he's gonna be reading us questions.
Synthetic asked, what was the toughest part about starting 100 Thieves?
Oh shit. Synthetic asked, what was the toughest part about starting 100 Thieves? This could be a long, drawn-out answer, so I'll try to keep it a little concise. I would just say the change in lifestyle, just because I didn't realize what I was getting myself into. And I know gaming really well, and I know our community really well, but having to show up at the office every single day and raise capital, have a board that has expectations that we need to deliver on. Not only do you need to deliver for the board, but at that time, especially with no experience in venture, when somebody writes like a $10 million check, you're like, oh, we got all this money now, but that's a real person that just invested 10 million real dollars, and I need to deliver. And then when you start growing, you hire more employees. So half the battle is delivering for the community, but then half the other battle is delivering for the employees because they're just like me. They're living their own life, self-preservation. We talked about this a little bit when we talked about the layoffs, but they got their own careers, their own expectations of what they want out of this job. So yeah, trying to keep everybody happy while pushing the company forward and keeping everybody together. And then facing challenges like COVID and the recession. And it was just a really big change of lifestyle. Which if I look back on it now, I certainly was not equipped to deal with it, but we adapted, I learned, and sometimes people had to deal with the expense of me still learning, but I would just say the change in lifestyle.
Can I ask a follow-up question on that?
Sure.
Now that you are a little older and have like a more consistent like 9-to-5 schedule, are you glad with the change? Are you like, do you prefer this lifestyle now?
100%.
Yeah.
I'm certainly a man of habit and routine. And back at the beginning of 100 Thieves, had a YouTube channel that was going really well, was making a ton of money, but I didn't have a relationship at the time, and I still wanted to go out with the boys and get fucked up and drink. And so I was kind of like, I resented some of the aspects of 100 Thieves because it pulled me away from doing the things that I wanted to do. And the things that I wanted to do, I could always do when I was a full-time creator because I was my own boss and I could go by the own beat of my drum at any point in time. So if I was 30 years old with a bride-to-be and starting a family, that would have been a much better environment for the beginning of 100 Thieves because I could have been, I would have showed up more and been what I needed to be at that time because I wasn't distracted by all these personal desires and greed. Good question.
Michael asks, how did you convince your parents that an online job / YouTube would make money?
How did I convince my parents that an online job would make money? I didn't really convince them of anything. My mom hated it. When I told them I was dropping out of college, my mom was really upset, deservingly so. But my dad was kind of just like, fuck it, whatever, do it. My dad's always been my biggest fan when it comes to the gaming stuff. Like, he's definitely digested it, understood it, and he's one of my biggest supporters. He loves everything we do with 100 Thieves. So it's hard to remember like the small conversations that I had back in the day because it just seemed like a whirlwind now, looking back on it. Just happened so quickly. I basically just dropped out of community college and moved into an apartment with my first girlfriend at the time. And thinking back on it, it's a crazy decision. I like with how thoughtful I am about the things that I do now and how much time I think about my next move. It's crazy that I did that. So yeah, there wasn't a lot of convincing. And two, like for my mom, I understand why she was upset. Like there was no precedent that had been laid out in front of us for her to understand. And the internet was still in a very, I would say it's infancy. So there was just nothing I can point to and say like, hey, I know this sounds crazy, but I got to go do this thing.
Yeah.
But I knew it kind of, and the timing worked out really great for me. I feel lucky for that, but there was no convincing her.
Yeah.
She fucking hated it.
I feel like the parental pressures too are probably the toughest thing a lot of people deal with.
Yeah.
Like even when I moved out here, my parents still don't really understand what I do, but come from a traditional household, and I was like, they were super against me like leaving Michigan, and I'm like, I'm going to LA. Even before I had a job, COVID hit, and I was like, I'm going to move out here without a job. Ended up getting one before coming out, but I remember those conversations. I was on my way to the airport, and my mom was like, ready to disown me practically because she's like, you're not moving to LA, you're gonna go work in entertainment, like this fantasy of yours, what, like whatever. And so I think for people struggling with the same thing, they kind of just gotta do it. You gotta block it out and rip it because you honestly know what's best for yourself.
Yes and no. I agree with certain aspects of that. Yeah, well, a couple things you got to understand, which I'm sure you know, but one, you're the youngest. And your mom's probably like, hey, the last one ain't flying the coop yet.
Yeah.
Like there's probably some selfishness that she was trying to protect. And whether that's selfishness around like your well-being or just the maternal instinct of protecting you and your future. Because I think that's what my mom was ultimately doing.
Yeah.
Did she convey it the right way? Absolutely not. But look, I think you and there's a lot of people, so I'm not saying there are exceptions to the rule, but in some cases, look, I don't know, man. I've had coming to Jesus moments over this, and Haley and I have talked about it too. Like when you grow up and you're growing up, you think your parents are just your fucking heroes, right? And, you know, when you get older and you go through puberty, you might have some back and forth. And I feel like every man and girl goes to that stage where they're just mad at their parents all the time, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, your parents want what's best for you most of the time. And if you don't have a situation where that's true, I'm sorry, that sucks. But in most cases, parents want the best for their children.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're growing up, going back to the hero thing, you think your parents are like God and they know everything. But then when you get older, you realize that times change, the world changes, and some people, as they get older, just don't change with the times.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what causes disconnect. So they might not understand something, but they're trying to protect you in most cases. But in certain instances, what you just said, you might know best for yourself, and sometimes you got to take that risk. When you're young, you can take a lot of shots on goal, try a lot of things, and one of them might work out, none of them might not pan out. But at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for yourself, but you got to be comfortable with the fact that it might not work.
Yeah.
And you might end up moving back in with your parents and start from square one, but that's okay. You're young, you got plenty of time. So in general, I would say even if your parents are with you or against you, in most cases, I think it comes from a place of love.
Yeah, I'm not saying like fuck your parents, but you know.
Yeah,
That's like, honestly, I think that's one of the biggest, in their sense of trying to protect you, that can be one of the biggest hurdles
100%,
to doing what you want to do.
But again, I would just come back, especially the space that we play in. People are infatuated with like quitting their job and quitting everything in school, and I'm going to do everything I can to be a full-time streamer. It's look, the people that are here today, they were working full-time jobs. They were going to college. They were securing and insulating for their future before they just quit everything.
Yeah, don't do that. But
yeah, but I think that it's been romanticized now with all these fucking motivational speakers and TikTokers and Instagram. Like, look, not everybody's going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that sucks coming from somebody who you might consider made it, but you got to be tactical and strategic, and you need to make sure that you have the means to chase after what you want.
Mm.
I'm not saying that's
you got to be smart. Yeah, you got to be smart about it.
It's not absolute, but
like
you got to plan.
Yeah,
you can't just throw everything to the wayside. And
no, absolutely,
it's a dangerous mentality to have. Like, there's certain things you can extract from that, but you got to be careful.
Mm.
I got a good follow-up to that.
Ooh.
Santiago asks, at what point did you know and realize that you made it, and did it change you?
At what point did you know you made it, and did it change you?
From Santiago? I don't think there's ever been a point where I thought to myself, I made it. You know, that the human mind is a tricky thing to, it's insatiable, or is that the right word?
Yeah.
Like greed. No matter what I've done in my life, in my career, I always have wanted more, and I've never felt a calmness come over me that has the stress and anxiety of what the future will look like gnawing at the back of my mind.
Mm-hmm.
At any given time, especially when you're at the will of the community sentiments around your brand, because ultimately they're the ones that are getting you paid, you feel like you can wake up the next day and it'll be gone tomorrow. So I think that can be somewhat ignorant because there is a lot of stability in what I do, but I never feel like enough is enough, and I always feel like there's impending doom right around the corner and the rug's going to be pulled out from underneath me.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to pick one moment, I'd probably say when I got the contract to go to MLG. Twitch almost made me an offer to match it, but then they came out with this policy that they don't want to pay creators to be on their platform. They don't want to do minimum guarantees. I was flying to San Francisco to meet with Twitch, and obviously now we know, years later, in some instances they have paid creators to stay. So I feel like the timing kind of fucked me on that one, but MLG gave me like a 3-year guaranteed contract. Ultimately ended up being the wrong decision for me, but financially gave me security. So I guess in most cases you can't have your cake and eat it too. There's no perfect scenario and situation in most cases. So that was a good time in my life, just because I felt like, all right, I've got 3 years of income here, and I don't have to worry about hitting this ad roll button. I don't have to worry about proving my parents wrong, like I'm going to be good.
Hmm.
So long but short answer there.
Good question.
Yeah.
Psycho asks, can we get more office skits like the Bang clip?
Psycho is his name? Secco asked if we can get more clips and skits like we did with Bang in the Chinese lessons.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. I'm really glad people love that. We used to do that like once a month back in the day. A lot of the attention and momentum that 100 Thieves built was revolved around our skits, the skits that we would do for new partnership announcements, like the Tony Totino one. We were talking about that yesterday. Brooke joining 100 Thieves, other creators joining 100 Thieves. We used to do these skits all the time. And at one point, we actually were going to make it a series. You've seen Sentinels do it. They're kind of like the This Is Sports Center commercials.
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing that for a long time.
Yeah.
And we certainly have stopped dead in our tracks over the last like 2 years, just because creators and priorities and things just changed and shifted. We hired more people. We started new business ventures. The way that the economy has unfolded in front of us, like I don't think we lost our way. I don't want to say that because that sounds a little bit more negative than I wanted to.
More doom and gloom.
But we definitely have stepped away and moved away from some of the things that we really love doing the most. But I don't give myself the benefit of the doubt on that one, or I try not to at least, because we definitely fucked up over the last couple of years on some of the things that we could have been doing. But we just got busier and priorities changed. So, yes, to your question, Secco, we absolutely need to do more of it. It's some of the most fun that I have. Like, I love putting an idea together with people, filming it quick, and just seeing the reaction of the community. We certainly did that much better in the past, and we need to get back to what made us who we are today. So, yeah, I'm glad people loved it, and we need to do more of it.
Do you have a favorite skit?
I mean, the Bang Chinese lessons one was pretty good. I wanted to do that video like 3 weeks ago after he was jumping around mid on a cent. We were going to have, I was going to call him into my office and have him sit down, and we were going to watch the clip. And as he was leaving, I was going to throw him like a Rosetta Stone DVD. Like, oh, also, we're having all players kind of brush up on whatever. But
yeah.
I don't know if I have a favorite clip. Selfishly, I have a place in my heart for some of the ones that I help write or where the ideas start with me, but that's just me stroking my own ego. I don't know. The Totino's one was pretty cool. I think that back in the day we did it with the Call of Duty team. I don't know if it withstands the test of time, but we watched it yesterday, and it was just a great example of when a brand that works with 100 Thieves trusts us to deliver to our community what we know they'll love, regardless of their brand guidelines, which is a lot tougher when you're dealing with like Fortune 50, 100, 500 companies that we brought into the fold, because in the same way that we want our brand to be represented, they have very strict rules and how they're represented. So the Totino's was good because you took pizza rolls and we made it fun. So that one holds a good place in my heart.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Great.
All right, let him rip.
Alpaca asks, what do you wish you had known before starting 100 Thieves?
Alpaca wants to know, what do I wish I knew before 100 Thieves started? I don't know. That's tough. That's a tricky question. What would I have wanted known? I don't know. I'm definitely not a believer in everything happens for a reason. Like, I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I would say just, I don't know. I don't have a great answer to that question. Fuck. People hate esports teams, dude. Like, I wish I would have known that. Like, as a player for Optic, dude, I'm being dead serious. As a player for Optic, I had, what do they call them? Goggles on.
Blinders.
I had an unfair experience because everybody loved everything that we did, and I didn't have to deal with any blowback around decisions that the organization made, because I was a player. It's not my fault.
Mhm.
But we never really did anything that got us in hot water when I was part of Optic. Look, there's no way for me to talk any sense or try to convey my emotions around the sentiments that the community has towards esports teams. But in most cases, no matter what we do, no matter if we think it's a good idea or bad idea, no matter who it affects or adversely affects, the esports organizations are always the bad guys 99.9% of the time. And I don't think it would have changed anything I've done or the decisions that I've made. But no matter what, even if you're trying to do the best thing for everybody involved in the decisions that you make and the things that you create and the things that you do together, the esports teams just always are the bad guys. I wish I would have known that, just so I could have been prepared myself for wrestling around sleepless nights. Like, why the fuck are people so mad about this?
Wish maybe you would have known how much stress you would have watching games, not playing in them.
Yeah. Again, I don't think it would have changed anything, but look, man, I don't know. Sometimes it's just a really hard pill to swallow when you think you've done the right things and people are still mad at you. And then it's just like ill-advised comments about 100 Thieves, and I'm like, my entire life is 100 Thieves.
Yeah.
And I just don't agree with how you're perceiving this situation, but there's nothing I can say to change your opinion. And then you have trolls that will pop up talking mad shit, and they'll be very specific about things. And I know in my head that even if I reply to this person, they are being divisive and polarizing for a reason, and they don't want to have a good common ground conversation. But it's still, they're chasing the white rabbit. I want to comment on that shit because ignorance is bliss, man. Some people just don't get the things that they attribute their opinions to, and there's no talking them. There's no talking them. So
It's like the red jerseys.
well, that one's a little, yeah, maybe not the best example, but I certainly understand what you're saying. I still like the jerseys.
Jerseys are great.
What else we got, JHB?
Dylan Thomas asked Nade's golf handicap and favorite club in his bag.
Ooh,
Nade's golf handicap and favorite club in my bag coming from Thomas.
Dylan Thomas.
I'm a 9.2 right now. Favorite club in my bag is a 7-iron. When I go and take my lessons, I basically only swing my 7-iron. It's good, like club that's got a little bit more length than your wedges. It's definitely not a long iron, but the biggest thing for me to get better at golf is just learning how to compress the ball better and try to move the ball. And so 7-iron, I just feel like it's an extension of me. I know that I'm going to get that ball 165 to 175 yards if I strike it well. And my game's actually coming together. I'm pretty excited with the progress I've made. So I appreciate the golf question, man. A lot of people tell me they don't love practicing golf and like going to the range stuff. I fucking love it. Sometimes I enjoy being on the range more than I like being on the golf course, just because I'm battling against myself and I'm trying to change the way my body and my brain reacts to how I move this club. And it's pretty cool to think that I felt like I was above average at golf. Even if my swing looked like shit, I could score above average in comparison to the 100% of people that play golf. But now I feel like my swing looks better aesthetically. The ball is jumping off the fucking club. I've added like 15 yards to every club in my bag. And I know that sounds fucking crazy for people that golf. I know that sounds crazy, but you have no idea how poorly and how wrong I've been my entire life about my idea of what makes the ball fly. So, bro, when I started lessons, my 7-iron was going 150 yards. Now I carry it 175 yards. That's 25 yards, dude.
Yeah.
And even if I miss it, because I don't have bad misses, even if I chunk it or I hit it a little thin, it's still 15 at minimum yards further than I ever used to hit it. So
Added 15 yards to the 3 clubs in your bag.
yeah, right.
3 clubs
I
that are
got them fixed.
Okay, great.
What's your handicap?
Fuck. I don't have one. It'd be like
You could
40.
You could be low double digits if you actually kept a handicap, in my opinion, and if you actually practiced.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Started lessons.
Great question, JHB. Thank you for scratching my golf itch. We always talk about golf at least
With
once.
those orthotics, that 9.2 is going to be
yeah, bro. No bullshit.
flying down.
no bullshit. I'm going to talk about this real quick. I don't know if it's going to work, but the biggest issue for people that really understand the golf swing is I'm going to get up for this. I'm going to get up for this. So if you're watching the fucking on whatever, if you're watching the audio version, you're fucked. Long story short, I've always the correlation between power and how I need to move my body is turning. I'm like, oh, look at the way these guys shallow out in their golf swing. They're turning and they let their arms fall and they fly through. Brother, it is so fucking wrong because you got to think you're trying to get this club to whip through, right? How do you transfer that momentum? Your body, yes, it needs to turn, but you need to have a braking system. Like when I get over to my left and I fucking push up from the ground, my right leg extends, my left leg extends, and this club, there's no way for it to get to the ball unless I extend through, and then it naturally just whips down through. But before, all my weight, I'm like, oh, I'm getting over to my left. All my weight would get over to the left. I'd turn my shoulders and my hips. My fucking legs look like goddamn chicken wings. I'm getting jammed up, bro. I'm fucking casting. I'm flipping around. I'm doing all this crazy shit. I've just never knew that for what you're like the physics of whipping this golf club through, your body needs to stop. Mm-hmm. You have to get the momentum in the backswing, get down to your left. You're pushing all this energy through, and then you're braking so that this club whips through. Mm-hmm. And that's what I've been really working on the most because I'll either end up fucking blocking it out right or I'll pull it left because I'm not stopping any of this energy. Mm-hmm. You have to brake. You have to extend. And that's what I've been working on. Why the fuck did I start talking about that? What is it?
Orthotics.
Oh, the orthotics. So I have what's called a flexible flat foot. I have arches, but when the weight gets down onto my foot, all the muscles and everything collapses. And so if you watch me walk my entire life, I walk on the inside of my feet. I don't walk properly. But to the point of posting up and this braking system that we're talking about, my instructor could never figure out, like, why is it so hard for you to post up on your left? Like, why can't his wheels be turning, doesn't understand. And then when he found out, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm going to pick up my orthotics. He's like, for what? I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to Bandon Dunes. I'm walking like 70 miles 5 days. My feet are throbbing after every golf round, even if I'm in a cart. Like, I just need to get my feet fixed. He's like, dude, I don't want to make any, I don't want to overpromise here. But what you just described is actually a really good reason for why you struggle with posting up because the weight is stuck on the inside of my feet. So even when I get over to my left, not only do I not have like the balance and stability to properly distribute that weight, but I'm like trying to dig myself out from the inside of my feet. So now that I got these orthotics and, an artificial arch that won't give out, I think posting on my left is going to be a lot easier.
I feel like you're like cyberpunk out there.
Dead ass, dude.
Yeah.
Dead ass.
Also, streamer, scientist, doctor. This whole little bit right here. You're like the Johnny Sins. You're like the Johnny Sins of entertainment right now.
Oh man. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Well, it's funny, dude, because the problem with golf and getting better at it nowadays is there's just so much out there. If your TikTok or Instagram algorithm is like mine in any way, so there's a lot of instructional videos, but they're trying to fix problems in like blanket statements that will certainly help a lot of people, but other people, you got to be. The hardest part about getting better at golf is the self-awareness and the actual understanding of the golf swing so that you could diagnose your problems on your own.
100%.
And I certainly was not able to do that without lessons. And brother, I saw a clip too. Like everybody tells you not to cheat in life. Like don't cheat. You go to school, don't cheat on a test. You pay somebody to do your math homework. That's cheating. We condemn that. But like when you get into the real world business, if you don't know how to do something, you pay somebody to do it better for you. Like I'm going to hire a CFO because I have no fucking idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I was comfortable with admitting that I don't know how to get better at golf and I'm going to pay somebody to help me do it. Mm-hmm. And so I think what's actually been cool about learning more and being able to diagnose my own swing, like nobody's ever explained that braking system to me. And if I would have found the right video maybe or whatever, I'm telling you, learning is so powerful because I just never knew, for whatever fucking reason, how momentum works. Like, you have to stop.
Mm-hmm.
You have to. If you want to generate the speed and the power that you want, think about it. Science. The club and momentum needs to stop. So, yeah. Michelle, break me, baby. All right, let's get it, JHP.
Question for me?
Someone said for Joe, what do you enjoy most about working in gaming?
What do I enjoy most about working in gaming? Oh, God. The fact I can play video games and consider it market research probably would be my number one answer. My girlfriend will be like, you want to hang out tonight? I'll be like, oh, sorry, honey. I got a big night of Counter-Strike lined up. She's like, are you kidding me? I'm like, you don't get it. All right. Got CS2 coming out. I got $500 in bundles I got to buy. I got to hemorrhage all my cash. So
Somebody, I missed it, but I missed the name. He asked me, what's my biggest regret in my Call of Duty career?
Oh,
I would say retiring too early. Listen, I know I've talked about this before.
Lay it on. Lay it on me.
Motherfucker, I know we didn't win champs in AW, okay? I know we didn't win champs, bro, and that's all anybody fucking cares about. But we won 3 majors back to back to back with me, Formal Scump, and Crim 6, and I can guarantee that we would have won more if I kept playing. I don't care. Whatever your opinion is about my Call of Duty career, bro, I know the game is different now and stats are different. I've never fucking enjoyed. I hate data and analytics, dude, because I am somebody who has. Luckily, because I'm blessed and very fortunate, all of my decisions are made off gut feelings and emotion. And in some industries, that could be very dangerous. I know that. And there are some times when somebody at the company brings me data that I'm like, all right, this makes sense, but I still don't think that should be our North Star. That might be a little ignorant. I don't know. But everybody wants to talk about the dynasty afterwards, okay?
Yep.
I know. Like, you can tell this fucking bothers me. But brother, if we're talking about stats, everybody tweeting out these post-match reports, and everybody's talking about KD. Bro, that entire year in AW, while I've got some of the best slayers that have ever played the game, I've never had a KD lower than 0.90. Again, very different game.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how that equates out with, like, blitz and hardpoint and respawn timers, if there were them back in the day or whatnot. But I was not, dude, you motherfuckers are sick.
You're like Draymond out there, you're a glue guy.
Well, I'm not even trying to convince people anymore that I was good. But motherfucker, like, you guys put so much weight in winning. I won a championship every year I played. On 4-man teams, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no matter how fucking good my teammates are, like, you are not winning unless you're doing your thing too. It just, there's no other way. There might be 1 to 2 teams or maybe 2 of my championships where you can question that. But I know I had good players on my team. Motherfucker, I would have pro players bring it up to me. Well, you had Scump? I'm like, you think I got Scump because I was really fucking good at the game and you want to play with me? There's another game within the game that you need to play, bro. I was always in the offseason just fucking sneaking my way around. Bro, giving people, that's when I didn't know at the time that I'm a pretty good salesman.
Mental warfare.
Brother, dude, I actually fuck with Temp, and I think he's really good, but he used to say that shit all the time. I'm like, yo, how come you haven't figured, if you are this much better than me, then why the fuck don't you have better players around you?
Mm-hmm.
There's a game within the game, and a person you need to be on the fucking map and off the map. And, bro, I caught a whiff of optic, get me in there.
Mm-hmm.
See a fucking inch, I'll take a mile. Bro, I got them to drop Rambo in the fucking offseason, dude. That was like fucking Judas stabbed him in the back. But self-preservation, bro. I want to be on that team. Look, I'm like, Scump, not only are your channels going to get bigger, but I know I'm better than Rambo. And I don't know if that's true at the end of the day. But, like, I need to be on this team. It would be better for Optic. I'm telling Hector, like, put me on this fucking roster, and I will work my ass off. Brother, you have to... If you want to be successful in a game that revolves around a team, why would you not be working just as hard as you want to be individually, but to get the players on the team that you want?
like the little finger of Call of Duty.
Dead ass.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, some people probably take the pride out. Oh, I don't need to convince people to play with me. They're going to play with me because I'm so good. Well, hey, not everybody's built like that, motherfucker. I got to get a leg up. So guess what? I'm going to be politicking in the background. You know?
Like Joe Biden out there.
Bro, it's Joe Byron. Seriously. So I think my biggest regret is probably retiring early because I think we could have won more. I mean, I'm glad that I didn't make it to Infinite Warfare because that game looked like shit. So whatever. I'm glad I didn't play that. And that's where they solidified their dynasty. But I don't give a fuck what you say. And, you know, you're going to poke holes because I'm addressing it. I was a fucking dog. Don't care.
There you go.
Bro.
Talk that shit.
Oh, a fucking elimination match. Did not even make it to COD Champs. We're playing fucking Curse at the time. Game 5. Freight Search and Destroy. I put up fucking 13 or something like that, bro. I started off 7-0 in an elimination match. Fucking Lamrod.
Who's gonna carry the boats?
Bro, I was carrying the boats in the fucking logs, dude. Yeah, fucking goddamn X Games. I know, gold medal. I always bring it up. Bro, I had fucking 14 last map. Or not last map. Game 2. Octane Search and Destroy, bro. Like, what are we talking about? Our elimination match versus FaZe at Champs. I threw up like 40 in uplink. I out-fragged everybody. Nobody talks about that shit. Anybody that thinks they're better than me at Call of Duty, unless you're like 20 players, I don't know. I'd give myself top 20, but I don't know if other pro players would agree. Brother, come see me in prime time.
Not a data guy, but the numbers don't lie.
Dog, I got people that have been competing as long as me and still don't well, there's only a few, but some of these kids, I got fucking 8 championships. Fuck you. Seriously. Everybody's got rose-tinted glass. That's what it is or something.
You're like the Bill Russell in Call of Duty.
Bro, everybody wants to fucking talk about playing plumbers and shit. I was playing against Prime Aches, Clayster, Crimsix, Furico Impact. Dude, don't talk. You don't know what you're talking about. Look at me, dude. I'm having a moment. Fuck you. No, I sound like an asshole.
Oh, that was great.
That was much better than you guys remember.
That was great.
I was not just a creator. And guess what? I was doing it fucking both of the goddamn things. Oh, I don't want to stream. I don't want to make a video. Motherfucker, I'm trying to eat. 12 hours. You wake up, you do it again.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. We're going to have one of those a year, I think.
You wake up. What was it? What was your quote?
You wake up, you start your stream, you get off, you edit a video, you upload that video, you go to bed, you wake up, you do the same thing.
Every fucking day.
Every fucking day. Well, hey.
Little David Goggins in you right there.
The blood pressure was rising, I'll tell you that. People just, they wasn't with me shooting in the gym.
Tip of the cap.
Thank you, sir. I'm sure 90% of people just skipped over that one. What is a Kirby question?
What the fuck is a Kirby? What the fuck is a Kirby question?
Is Kirby a person, or is this like?
Who would you rather have suck you off, Kirby or Michelle?
I think they'll Slayer slushy. No, I'll get some paper towels after this Kirby question.
Party asked, if Kirby were to absorb you, what ability would they obtain?
If Kirby were to absorb me, what ability would he obtain?
0.9 KD.
0.9 KD. Yeah.
8 championships.
8 fucking
An X Games gold medal.
You would absorb being average at everything you try to be good at. Like, I can do a lot of things, but none of them really, really well. They're all just average performances, but I like it. Above average in some cases.
I would disagree with that.
I'm not fishing for a compliment here, Joe. I don't know.
You gas me up, I guess you
I'm
up.
trying to be funny at the same time. What would they absorb? You're going to overthink a lot. You're going to be stuck with your own thoughts a lot, but you will have the ability to somehow surround yourself with people that are much better than you at everything that you like to do. So
also be able to
kind of a skill set, I guess.
Yeah.
I just show up and the people that are good at everything I'm not good at are there. And I'm like, this is amazing. What about you? You weren't thinking at all while that question was while I was rambling on, as this Zin is just drowning in this Slayer slushy.
What would you be able to absorb? I think an ability to
An uncanny relation to Sid the Sloth. Hey guys.
Bro, when Haley sent that to me, that was so fun. Anyways, I won't get into that. What would you be able to absorb? A degenerate gambling problem.
No, you don't even gamble. Dude, come on. Give me something. Let's get introspective here.
Hyper awareness of the people around you would be my serious answer.
So you think you're a very perceptive individual?
I'd say so. Being able to nut in under 30 seconds.
Everybody can do that, brother. You ain't alone. That ain't no superpower. You know, the first month that me and Joe were working together, I told him a secret, and then he told his secret to his former boss and best friend, and who is my fiance's boss.
I didn't tell him your secret.
Yeah, you did. Really.
I got mixed up, I think, in a little drama or something.
Very perceptive, Joe.
Yeah. I was wasted taking a piss and text flew.
That truth serum, dude. That re-truth. My man was fucking shadow tweeting on it. Imagine you just had a burner truth account. You know what's crazy is that like we found out that Elon's got a burner. All these athletes have burners. I've never made a burner account, but I'm very close. I feel so inclined to do so.
I would definitely tweet a lot more if I had a burner, but
let's make burner accounts and just wreak havoc on timelines. It's a good episode.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
First half, I mean.
First half was better than you think. I would tell you if I was feeling self-conscious about that episode. You're good.
Sometimes, yeah. Talk about privilege. Sometimes I wonder why I'm up on this desk. Talk about politics and surrounding yourself with guys like Scump.
We're not doing no sad puppy dog shit.
We're not doing it.
If you don't want to be on the desk, you want to be on the desk, brother. Come on. Have some confidence in yourself. Have some conviction.
I'm spiraling.
You're good. Well, I appreciate all the questions coming from the community. Hopefully, these 2 Instagram stories maybe raised awareness about the podcast. We have it every week. If you're confused as to why Joe is just asking me a ton of questions and I'm ranting, that's what the original intention of this podcast was. Just talk about shit that, we don't get to do on the Courage Nadeshot show because we're normally interviewing guests or what have you. So that was definitely an immersive experience for somebody who hasn't experienced this podcast yet.
Yeah. Questions were great, though.
Yeah, the questions were good. I wish I had like better answers to some of them, like more specific, but some of these about like 100 Thieves, there's just so much to cover. I would be here for 2 hours if I tried to get into the details. But yeah, I appreciate all you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in this episode. We are gonna be out of town next Tuesday. I can't go back to back today, so we might be a week off for the podcast, but we'll see. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. Shout out to the production team once again for coming in early. We got the social media team in here too. Watch the entire episode, see if we can clip anything out. But they come in at 8 a.m. every Tuesday. They don't complain. They get their shit done, and it's fucking awesome. I love you guys. I appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good one. YouTube, Twitch, fucking Spotify, audio platforms. We'll see you fudging later. Goodbye.